It's time for Let's Chat with Russtek, a podcast dedicated to helping entrepreneurs just like you. When starting out, entrepreneurs often feel they need to go it alone, and I'm here to tell you that's just not the case. Entrepreneurs have a lot of questions, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Nick Russell, and this is Let's Chat with Russtek. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Chat with Russtek. My name is Nick Russell, and let's really dive into becoming an expert and serving your audience even more. Now, if you listen to the last few podcasts, we've been kind of talking about the Expert Secrets book by Russell Brunson, and I want to kind of dive even deeper into that this week. Now, it's funny when I think about my past career and when I was with a beer store, and to me, that was just a retail job. So from the time I was a part-timer to a full-time employee to management, it was always just a retail job. We sold beer out of a retail store. And I never really thought about it much more than that. Now that I'm looking from the outside in, I can see how much more went behind that. And the frameworks that the beer store used, even at a retail level, to help better serve our customers. Now, I've talked about how I was the quote unquote beer expert, or I was the beer guy that all my staff would call me up and help, and I would be the guy engaging with the customers and talking to them about the different beers. Now, one of the systems that we had in place there, one of the frameworks that we used was whenever somebody came in to buy a case of beer, whether that had been something craft, or even if it was something from the big guys, whether it be Labatt or Molson, and they wanted to get a 12-pack. Well, it was our job to make sure the customer left happy and had the best deal they could possibly get. So that meant if they had a 12-pack of Blue or a 12-pack of Canadian or something like that, we would work to upsell them to a 15-pack, sometimes the 15-pack for the same price. And they may not have noticed that if they were in a self-serve store. In the old conventional style stores, we could talk to them as they asked for it and then talk them up. But then if from a 15-pack to a 24-pack or 28-pack, the price difference was significantly better, the higher you went up. So we would always engage and have a conversation with the customer we were dealing with at that time to upsell them to get going. Now that's quite simply what a funnel is done. So when you look at Russell Brunson and his frameworks with his funnels and funnels that we do here, it's all about trying to upsell you and get you a better deal to help serve you at a higher level. And it's not about the money. I know it's not for Russell, it's not for me. It's about giving you more value and helping you go from this to this level to this level to the next level. And the price points obviously are going to be a little bit more, but we could serve you at a higher level and make sure that you're getting the most out of what you're getting. And that's exactly what I did at the beer store. And since the beer store is run on a not-for-profit system, one of the few things that the beer store actually made money off of was ice. And that's another part of that framework, is we would upsell you ice. If it's a Saturday and it's 100 degrees outside and you're going to a family function or a party with friends or to the beach or whatever the case may be, why would you want to shop around, get your beer, get your ice and all this stuff, when you can just do that all in one shot? Get your beer, get your ice, and you're off to wherever you have to go. So that was part of the frameworks that we used there, right? Now, we kind of talked about a little bit of this before. Now, this is exactly what Russell Brunson does as well. So for Russell, one of his big frameworks is he takes a small piece of the puzzle, a small piece of his framework. And I'll start with his 5-day lead challenge. Now, this is a 5-day challenge that's completely free. and he talks to you about generating leads. Now, that's a very small part of his framework. He'll then upsell you from there into the One Funnel Away Challenge. Now, this One Funnel Away Challenge is a 30-day sprint. It's a 30-day challenge with daily training, with daily coaching calls after the training. And they basically start from scratch, from having nothing to actually building on a full sales funnel by the end of that month, where you can use that and actually start making money for your business. Now, he takes the framework, a piece of the framework, the traffic part in the 5-day lead challenge. He expands on that and so much more in the One Funnel Away challenge. Now, the next step to that process, the next step to his framework, is getting you into the Two Comma Club Live event, which is, I did the very first one, and it is a 3-day, literally all day, all night event. You start first thing in the morning, and there are trainings all the way up until almost 9, 10 o'clock at night, except for the third day. I think the third day we were like a 9 to 5 type of a training, but it's 3 days intense with some breaks and dinner breaks and stuff. But it's 3 intense days where he takes everything that you learned in the 5-day lead challenge, in the One Funnel Away challenge, and then he expands upon that into 3 full days of training. So he took one piece of his framework, just one small piece, and he expanded on that all the way through. Now, that's actually something we're working on right now, and I can't wait for the next couple of months for us to finish this. I'm really working hard on that, and that's something that I can't wait to launch and show you guys. So if you're listening to this podcast, watching this on YouTube, you're getting a little sneak peek at what we're doing. And you can't really see too much of this whiteboard behind me if you're watching. Unfortunately, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm pointing at a whiteboard that I have kind of hidden in the background. But that's part of my framework and my design that I'm working on to really help better serve you guys. So it's kind of a done for you system, and it's really exciting. I can't wait to show you that. But that's basically what Russell does. And that's what we're doing as well. So if you go into one of our funnels, I do the 30 days of content. I take one of my frameworks and I build upon that through that whole funnel. There is a small upsell, there's a one-time offer, and it all kind of goes along that same funnel where I'm helping you create the content, help you organize your own systems, and implement that yourself in your business. So it's all part of one framework where I start with something small, work to something a little bit bigger, and then I take it and really expand upon it with my one-time offer, which is a consultation with me, where I help you implement your strategy and help you create a strategy so you can implement that in your business and really take off and grow your business using social media. Now, that's really all I had to talk about today. I really wanted to dive into how you can expand your frameworks and take those to the next level. Take something, a small piece of your framework, and expand upon that and really help your audience grow. And as you can see, it's something that can be done in a brick and mortar retail outlet, and it can be done with an online business, something like what we do here at Russtek, right? So hopefully that helped you. Hopefully I give you a little bit more insight in how you could implement your frameworks. It was kind of a quick, small podcast. And like we've been saying the last couple of weeks, I really want you to get as much out of these podcasts as possible. And especially with what we're talking about in the last few weeks, the Expert Secrets book that Russell's talking about, that we're talking about, that Russell wrote, it is a game changer for any business. It doesn't matter if you're a brick and mortar retail business, if you're an online e-commerce business, or if you're selling information products. It works for everybody. And this is a book that he uses, and he charges $10,000. And he takes this information, that's what he uses to coach his clients with. And the book is absolutely free. All you have to do is pay for shipping. And I believe it was like $15 or something like that. I forget the exact price now, but the book is free. And it is absolutely worth it. Now, you can get the upsell in his funnel, part of his frameworks, where he upsells you to the audiobook, which is something that I do, is I listen to the audiobook as I read it. But he also upsells you into his trilogy. And it's really cool. You get the .com, the Expert, and the Traffic Secrets, which is all of his books in one, as well as the Unlock the Secrets book. It's a hardcover book. And it's actually thicker than all of them because you take everything you've learned in each book and you create your own framework just by reading the books and jotting down, going through the process and the homework that is given in this Unlock the Secrets book. So the link to Expert Secrets will be in the description of the podcast, in the description of the YouTube video, and all over my social media pages as well. If you head to rustekmedia.com/links, you'll see the link right there for all of Russell's books as well as Expert Secrets. So hopefully you enjoyed the podcast. Hopefully you got a little bit out of that. And I'd love your feedback on the podcast. So shoot me a message on any of the platforms, and I'd love to chat with you about it. And with that said, we'll chat with you again next week. Hold up one quick second. I have one thing to offer you, and it's absolutely free. So just give me about 20, 30 seconds of your time, and I promise you this is going to be worth it. Now, if you've been listening to my podcast, my blogs for the last few weeks, we've been talking about Expert Secrets, a book by Russell Brunson. Now, this is a book you can get absolutely free. All you have to do is click the link to the description of this podcast or YouTube video if you're watching it. But this is not just any book. This is a book that helps you find your message, no matter what your industry is, and use that to serve your audience and become an expert in whatever field it is you're in. Now, this book is what Russell uses, everything from cover to cover. He uses this to coach his clients, and to be one of his clients, he charges $10,000. So you could either spend $10,000 to learn from the best marketer in the world, or you can click the link in the description of this podcast/YouTube video and get your copy of Expert Secrets absolutely free. I've read this book about 4 or 5 times at least, and I use it as a textbook now because it is that good. So again, if you want Expert Secrets for free, something Russell Brunson uses and charges his clients $10,000 for, you can get that absolutely free by clicking the link in the description of this video or heading to rustekmedia.com/links and click on the Expert Secrets button.